country which always catches the headlines when it comes to high tuition fees is the United States.
Annual fees for a 4-year degree in the US have risen dramatically and consistently since 1980, even when adjusted for inflation. Institutions themselves will argue that the cost of running a university has simply skyrocketed as more students have come through the doors. Some of it is the result of decreased state funding, requiring those costs to be passed on to students, and some is simply a result of an increased demand, making it possible for universities to charge more.
The headline price of tuition at top universities in America seems to defy all logic.
Tuition at Northwestern University for this academic year comes to $69,375. A year of learning at Columbia comes in at $71,170. The University of Chicago values its teaching at $71,325 per year. These clearly exorbitant price tags have led to a growing student debt burden. As of 2024, American graduates owed a total of $1.6 trillion in federal student loans.
Forgive me my patriotism for a moment, however, and allow me to reveal that while things might seem bad in the US, nowhere has managed to create a system which feels quite so scammy as the UK. From the end of the Second World War until September 1998, students in the UK could go to university and pay not a single penny in tuition.
This began to change in 1998 under Tony Blair's government, who allowed universities to begin charging fees of up to £1,000 a year. That's around $2,000 or $2,700 in today's money. That later leapt up to £3,000, and then £3,375, and then, in 2012,
MPs have voted for the controversial rise in university tuition fees.
Tonight, pockets of students had gathered outside the Treasury building.
When he was running to become leader of the Labour Party, now Prime Minister Keir Starmer pledged to scrap tuition fees entirely. Suffice it to say, that hasn't happened. And in fact, as of this month, the government has hiked fees once again, from £9,250 a year to £9,535.
Which might sound like it's much lower than the exorbitant fees charged by many universities in the US. But the difference is that the number of students who actually pay the quoted sticker prices for any given course in America is vanishingly small.
For one, all of the institutions I mentioned a moment ago are highly selective private institutions. And nearly 3/4 of US students go to public universities, which tend to charge much lower fees. As things stand, these average out at a slightly less eye-watering $9,750.
That's about £7,250 for the Brits watching.
The American system is also fairly liberal with its use of financial aid to help students cover fees and living expenses. Northwestern, for example, states that most students from families which earn under $150,000 a year end up having their tuition fully covered.